Happy winter solstice, everyone. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Are you in there, dear?
Yeah. Like me to answer?
Yes.
I didn't know I was supposed to.
Oh, well, I just thought it
I
would
thought
be a
it was-
knee-jerk
I
reaction.
thought, well, I did think of it, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Aw,
Love is the law, love under will.
thank you, thank you. I'm wearing her scarf this morning. Thank you, dear.
Oh, well, that was easy.
Do you have any solstice message you'd like to deliver to our friends?
Oh, on the spur of the moment.
That's the best kind.
Unite with the universal purpose. I just read my painting, which is right in front of me.
Unite with your universal purpose.
The universal. It is yours, but it's the same.
Unite with the universal purpose.
Which is yours, you just don't know it.
Can you show the...
No, don't bother. It's up behind you. It's that one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, yes, I went for a bike ride this morning.
You,
41 degrees, and I went for a bike ride in the rain for at least an hour. But I'm all dry now. I'm washable.
and you put your clothes in the dryer, right?
Well, yeah, some of them, the wool things I can't put in the dryer. I had 2 pairs of wool socks on and 3 pairs of gloves and a raincoat over 3 sweatshirts and 2 other shirts. So I wasn't cold, and a raincoat over that, over the top. So I was dry in the middle. And Lon went for a walk to the 2 blocks to the coffee shop early this morning. Didn't get a single drop on him. The minute I got out of the house, it started raining. So I just went.
That's how we amuse ourselves on the solstice.
Yes, go out in the weather.
Yes. So I'm going to share a couple things out of the Blue Equinox. Okay, this is Equinox Volume 3, Number 1. Now, supposedly there wasn't a Volume 2 because that was a period of silence. Sounds like something I'd make up as an excuse for not publishing something for 5 years. But anyway, it's Equinox. This is the OTO material. A lot of the foundational documents and everything of the OTO are in this, so that it is sort of the foundational text. Okay, it at least has many of the documents of OTO related stuff. So I got this very early. Helen Parsons Smith, bless her heart, sent this to me just a short while after my Minerval initiation. But it's got a lot of cool, just Crowley Libers in it too. And one is Liber Lege Libellum. Okay, I think there's a number involved with it too, because you can look it up. I'm sure you can download it for free somewhere. Yes, the reason I like it is because it's spelled in Hebrew. N-O-L, or Nun Oyen Lamed. But when you read it in from left to right, it spells lawn. So it's a sandal strap. Okay, 150. But it's Liber L, law, liberty, love, life, light. So it's the law, which includes liberty, love, life, and light. And I'm going to talk or read you a couple little things from the light section. Okay. I got into it originally this morning because I wanted to comment on the number 93. Now, if you've If you're not really familiar with the thelemic movement, if you will, if you want to call it that, you see people greeting each other with 93. Now, when I opened just now, I said, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." And Constance eventually answered, "Love's the law, love under will." Okay. Now, when we greet each other with 93, it's like an abbreviation of that. Instead of like saying, "Hello, greetings, and fare thee well," you just say, "Hi." Okay, so it's sort of like an abbreviated, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, love's the law, love under will." Crowley kind of explains it here. There's two things I want to talk about this morning on the solstice. This 93 thing, which is just interesting, but his comments on evil. He says as he raises his eyebrow, on evil. Okay. But first, in 93. I wish to write to you with regard to the number 93, the number of Thelema. Okay, Thelema spelled in Greek adds to 93. For it is not only the number of its interpretation, agape, another Greek word for love, okay, but also of that word unknown to you unless you be a neophyte of our holy order of the AA, which word representeth itself. Now, he's not going to tell you what that word is, okay? He's not going to spell it for you, okay? But he just announced that it enumerates to 93, and then he gives us these hints. But also that of a word unknown to you unless you be neophyte of our holy order AA, which word representeth in itself the arising of speech from silence, and the return thereunto in the end. Now, this number 93 is thrice 31, which is in Hebrew LA. That is to say, not. Now, capital N, capital O, capital T. Okay. La means not, nothing, zero, zilch. And so it denieth extension in the three dimensions of space. Also, I would have you meditate most closely upon the name Nu. That is 56, which we are told to divide, add, multiply, and understand. By division cometh the fourth 0.12. As if it were written Nuith, Hadith, Rahur Kuith, before the dyad. Okay, 0, Nuith, point, Hadith, 1, Rahur Kuith, all coming before 2, the dyad. 0.12. Okay. I added all that other stuff. Okay. So, in addition, ariseth 11. New. N-U. Noon. Okay. What do they call that? They call it Pythagorean reduction. Okay. 56 added together, it's 11. By addition ariseth 11, the number of true magic, and by multiplication 300, the number of the Holy Spirit or fire. and the letter Shin, wherein all things are consumed utterly. With these considerations and a full understanding of the mysteries of the numbers 666 and 418, good luck, you will be armed mightily in this way of far flight. But you should also consider all numbers in their scales, for there is no means of resolution better than this of pure mathematics, since already therein are gross ideas made fine, and all is ordered and ready for the alchemy of the great work. Okay, that's his little, actually is a pretty concise little comment on 93 there. Okay, now what I really want to get into this winter solstice. And this is how he actually ends all of this, these essays with this chapter on, or this little essay on evil. Now here is the mystery of the origin of evil. Firstly, by evil, we mean that which is in opposition to our own wills. It is therefore a relative and not absolute term. For everything which is the greatest evil of someone is the greatest good of some other. Just as the hardness of the wood which weareth the axeman is the safety of him that ventureth himself upon the sea in a ship built of that wood. And this is the truth easy to apprehend, being superficial and intelligible to the common mind. All evil is thus relative or apparent or illusory. But returning to philosophy, I will repeat that its root is always in duality. Therefore, the escape from this apparent evil is to seek the unity, which you shall do, as I have already shewn you, but I will now make mention of that which is written concerning this in the book of the law. The first step being will, and he capitalizes it. This first step being will. Evil appears by this definition, quote, all that hinders the execution of the will, unquote. Therefore it is written, quote, the word of sin is restriction, unquote. It should also be noted that in the book of the 30 Aethers, that's the vision in the voice, okay, the Crowley's visions of the 30 Aethers, which was an extended 30-part initiation of Crowley himself. It should also be noted that in the book of the 30 Aethers, evil appears as Koronzon, whose number is 333, which in Greek importeth impotence and idleness. And the nature of Koronzon is dispersion and incoherence. Okay, let me digress for a second. If you think you're scaring anybody with your reputation as a big black magician, and you say, I'm Frater 333, you know, 333, Koronzon is my, fuck you. I'm sorry. Okay, you have just announced your impotence and idleness, and your embrace of dispersion and incoherence. Uh, I hope no one is taking this personally. Okay, truly, I, I don't know of an individual personally that's done that. Okay, then, in a way, in the way of love, evil appears as, quote, all that which tends to prevent the union of any two things. Thus the book of the law saith, under the figure of the voice of Nuit, take your fill of love, take your fill and will of love as ye will, when, where, and with whom ye will, but always in the love of me. For every act of love must be, quote, under will, unquote. That is in accordance with the true will, which is not to rest content with things particular and transitory, but to proceed firmly to the end. So also in the book of the 30 Aethers, the black brothers are those who shut themselves up, unwilling to destroy themselves by love. Let me digress for a second. Now, I've often said when discussing the technical aspects of creation within the context and with the consciousness of pure ecstasy, it's sort of the key to all ecstasy-based magic, because when your consciousness is even temporarily unlimited, when you've reached in moments of ecstasy, when you experience that timeless, spaceless, limitless smoothness, when you are everything, you can create anything. When there is no particulars, okay, when you're everything, you can create anything. Okay, I digress. Thirdly, in the way of life, evil appears under a subtler form as, quote, all that which is not impersonal and universal. Here, the book of the law, by the voice of Hadith, informeth us, quote, in the sphere I am everywhere the center, unquote. And again, quote, I am life and the giver of life. Come unto me is a foolish word, for it is I that go, unquote. And again, quote, for I am perfect, being not. And there's that not again. For this is life, for this life is in every place and time at once. Now, I'm going to say that again, okay? Because at first you're going to read the sentence like, for in this life every place and time at once. No. For this life is in every place and time at once. So that in it, these limitations no longer exist. When you're anything, when you're everything, you can create anything. Okay? And you will have seen this for yourself, that in every act of love, time and space disappear. with the creation of the life by its virtue. Also doth personality itself. Okay. Personality itself disappears with space and time. Okay. For the third time then, even in a subtler sense, the word of sin is restriction. Lastly, in the way of light, this same versicle is the key to the conception of evil. But here restriction is in the failure to solve the great equation, and later to prefer one expression or phase of the universe to another. Against this we are warned in the book of the law by the word of Nuit, saying, none. And then there's ... but the words are, none breathe the light, faint, and fairy. And then he picks up again, and two. None breathe the light, faint, and fairy, and two. For I am divided for love's sake, for the chance of union, unquote. And therefore, quote, if this be not aright, if you confound the space marks, saying they are one or saying they are many, then expect the direful judgments, okay, unquote. And he's filled that with dots because he's leaving out quotes there from the, or several words in that phrase. So if this be not aright, if you confound the space marks, saying they are one or saying they are many, then expect the direful judgments. And that'd be a Barach or Kuit. Okay. Now, therefore, by the favor of Thoth, I am come to the end of this my book. And do you arm yourselves accordingly with the four weapons: the wand for liberty, the cup for love, the sword for life, the disc for light. And with these work all wonders by the art of high magic, under the law of the new aeon, whose word is Thelema. And that's the Winter Solstice 2024 sermon on this cold, drizzly day. Anyway, until tomorrow for Sunday school. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.